Sup, peoples? Welcome back to See These CDs, where in each one of these episodes I try and take a closer look at a select CD from my own personal collection and just take a deeper dive into its overall cover, album artwork, graphic design, and packaging for the CD in question. If you haven't already figured it out, today we're going to be highlighting the Wu Tang Clan's Enter the Wu Tang 36 Chambers, which was originally released under Loud and RCA Records, November 9th, 1993. The CD clocks in at just over an hour at 61 minutes and 31 seconds. For art direction, it was accredited to Jacqueline Murphy, or I think as she would like to be referred to now as Jackie Murphy. When I was doing my research on her, her name did come up I guess like in confusion with like another artist, which I think I don't think had that other artist really had too much to do with like music. So it was easy to like distinguish between the two, but at the same time I could definitely understand why she'd want to distinguish herself further. Because it was a lot easier once I searched Jackie Murphy, she came up no problem. And I want to say she worked a lot with like RCA Records. Toward the end, I think she had some work also with Jive. After a few good years, from when I was looking her up, she was connected to a few, plenty of projects. A few of the projects that I specifically noticed was like several SWV CDs. Right here, or You're Always on My Mind. There was also which I want to say this is a Wu Tang Clan. No, I want to say it's a Raekwon CD, but it could also be a Wu Tang Clan CD. Was Can It All Be So Simple? They also did Wu Tang Ain't Nothing to Fuck With, or she also did Wu Tang Ain't Nothing to Fuck With, art direction for that. And she did also work on Raekwon albums such as Heaven and Hell. And I want to say I'm probably confusing her with the other artists on the CD, because it seems like all the artists on the CD, I don't know if they were all from the label, but they had their hands in like a lot of other similar CDs, or not similar CDs, but like the same CDs. When I look up like their discography and like what work they're connected to, she also worked on like several Tribe Called Quest albums, Beats, Rhymes, and Life, and she worked on Keith Murray's The Rhyme, as well as his Enigma project as well. For design, that was credited to Amy Wenzler, which, like I said, a lot of these artists are, I'm seeing them on the same CD. She was also on like some SWV projects, or the design for SWV projects, SWV, if I wasn't enunciating enough. New Beginning, Use Your Heart, I'm So Into You. She also did, some... what else? Yeah, the Raekwon Heaven and Hell project she was familiar with, as well as like I saw her in affiliation with Sam Cooke album, the CD, The Rhythm and the Blues. So she has a pretty reasonably decorated resume. A lot of the music that I'm bringing up in relation to these artists is just things that like I notice and I'm familiar with, but they do have more substantial resumes. It's just I didn't include all that mainly for time purposes. As I said before, I'm trying to like condense and consolidate these videos, make them as short as possible. I think I'll get more views that way. But hey, comment below if you think otherwise. Or just comment, engage, do whatever. I really would appreciate it. But yeah, moving on. So for photography, that was credited to, Danial Hastings, which I believe he may go by like the moniker Cartel, or like the stage name Cartel. He did photography for like KRS-One CD, Return of the Boom Bap. He's worked with Gangstar for Mass Appeal, Hard to Earn as well. Also Jodeci, Diary of a Mad Band, some Keith Murray projects like The Most Beautiful Thing, and Get Lifted, as well as like we mentioned before, the Raekwon CD, Heaven and Hell, but also Only Built for Cuban Links. I noticed as well. So he's all these photographers. I don't know if they're like I was saying before, like I don't know if they're directly in connection with the label. This is a 1996 CD, so I want to say like a project of this magnitude, it would have been all like label driven as far as like all the promotion, artwork, so on and so forth. I'm not saying like Wu Tang Clan didn't have any input as far as like their artwork goes, but it's just like it you can tell, seeing as these artists all worked on similar projects or the same projects, that it probably was like a lot more in-house back in the day. Like I was talking about originally with Jackie Murphy, a lot of her projects, as I was looking through her discography or things she was connected with, it was a lot of RCA records, including Wu Tang Clan, and then slowly transitioned to Jive. So like I don't know if maybe like she was working with RCA for a period of time, then she went on to work with Jive later. That would make sense to me. But yeah, let's take a closer look at the actual artwork itself. If you want to just look at the front cover, let me get that into focus real quick. There we go. We have Enter the Wu Tang 36 Chambers. On the right hand side, going vertically down the CD cover. Enter the Wu Tang white lettering or typography, while just underneath that, 36 Chambers is in like a light gold, like I guess like a yellow, like typography lettering, whatever, blah blah. And then we have the Wu Tang logo in the lower right hand corner, which is the iconic Wu Tang logo. If you don't already know, come on, man. Like you gotta know the Wu Tang logo. You probably seen it on like T-shirts. It's part of like pop culture at this point. Like you might not even know what their music sounds like, but the Wu Tang logo. So there it is. Printed. I'm pretty sure this is their debut CD. So just add that extra layer of detail. I figured I'd throw that in there. And then what I would assume is probably several members of the clan, in some type of formation. It looks like they're running up on the camera. They got like the white face mask with the black hoodies, Wu Tang Clan, like insignia on the hoodies. I don't ever recall seeing that hoodies, but I mean it's not like I was checking for Wu Tang Clan back when I was like, it's 96, I was like 5 or whatever. So it's not like I was checking for them back then, but I don't really remember seeing those hoodies anywhere outside of this CD cover. It's just something I throw in there. And then I guess they would be like, within their hideout chamber, so on and so forth. And then in the back, it would seem like it's projected. You have the Wu Tang logo once again. And then, parental advisory sticker in the lower left-hand corner. On the binding of the CD, the front is just, like a black. Nothing really too crazy there. Then on the side of the binding, we have once again the title, as well as the artist in question, and those weird numbers that we do not know what they are for. RCA as well on the left hand side, the very top of the binding. If we flip it over to the back, you see these dudes look like Timberlands, but they got some kind of boots on. I was just gonna say Timberlands because real New York and whatnot. It's not like we haven't seen Wu Tang in Timberlands, but yeah, it seems like once again they're in their hideout, they're doing their thing, hands in their pockets, bowing. I don't know if they're doing some like ceremonial ritual or whatever. Once again, we got the Wu Tang logo in the center. It's not being projected, or it seems like it's just like like a physical piece is hanging. They might be on a stage right now. But yeah, they're doing a ceremonial thing. On the left-hand side, we have, the tracks listed, and they're going down, the back of the CD vertically. They have like a black, background, just where the lettering is, like typography, and then white, or not white, but I mean yellow typography going over that black. Each one of the CDs listed in chronological order from how they're played. Going down the bottom, and then we have a loud insignia as well as RCA insignia in the lower right hand corner. Very top is that barcode, which we always love to see. But yeah, that's enough for like the outside. Give you a good look on this side too. It's basically the same thing, just inverted from this side. All right, so yeah, if we just open up the CD case. We can go ahead and take a look at the actual cover of the CD. Before I pop that out, if you just want to look at like the booklet on the left-hand side, it's just we got a few different members of the Wu. I think that's Old Dirty. Closest to the camera. Then with pair we have Raekwon. I'd say he's like the next closest. Behind him, it seems to be the Jizza. Who is that over there? Oh, that's the RZA. And then who's that in the very back? It's hard for me to figure out who's in the back. Oh, damn. I think Raekwon has Matumbos on. Damn. But yeah, all right. So let's go ahead and pop that CD off, though. The CD, is pretty simple, simple and clean. It almost reminds me of like a movie. like a movie cover. We just have the Wu Tang logo at the very top in yellow. The background to the actual cover of the CD itself is black. With the typography for the most part just being etched out of that black. So we see the background of the CD for all the words, lettering, so on and so forth. On the left hand side, we have the title of the CD once again, Enter the Wu Tang, 36 Chambers. With 36 chambers being in yellow typography, that 36 chambers would appear to be the only other place in that CD cover where where it's actually like a colored typography. Once again, also would appear that there's another layer of black over that 36 chambers or behind the 36 chambers. On the right hand side, we have Loud Records logo as well as RCA. It also shows you compact disc, and then at the very bottom of the CD, we have each one of the tracks listed more in like horizontal fashion, kind of like paragraph form. We have like 2 or 3 tracks per line, as they work its way down to the bottom of the CD. We want to flip around to the back of it. It's pretty basic. It's just a CD. Yeah, no, I'm just being goofy. Yeah. So, and then the back of where the CD is actually like placed, it's just basic black, similar to like the binding. It actually is a continuation of the binding. This is 96. Granted, like there are CDs where they would take advantage of that space. I don't really think that like hurts the CD at all. I mean, with the the background and the actual cover of the CD being black itself, and there not being very much color incorporated into this CD packaging, it makes sense to me. I mean, there is definitely an aesthetic of like black and yellow that runs throughout the the artwork or the booklet, or so on and so forth, which is understandable, because the Wu Tang Clan logo. So yeah, I mean the booklet, it's interesting the way it's designed. It's not a typical booklet. It kind of just unfolds. It unfolds like first you consume it like a normal booklet, but then you unfold it like this, and then see that right there. Okay, and then I'll try and so yeah, we have wow, okay. Alright, so yeah, first and foremost, they get into like, it's a thank you of everybody mentioned. Now, the typography is white, and then the background is like almost like a clay or like a rust looking color. So they go ahead and thank everybody who was, I guess, like involved in putting this project together, visually, sonically, everything. So I'll just go, work my way down, so we can see all that. The genius piece to man, woman, and child, big ass letters. So I mean, it's just I thought this is pretty interesting because it's like it is like out of the box, I'd say, in comparison to like other CDs we checked out, and especially with it being like pretty early on, it definitely does make me think like, why did they choose to do this, or why were they inspired to do this? But yeah, no, it's pretty dope. And then on the back of it, it's it returns like that horizontal like setup. We have once again each one of the tracks listed on the left hand side, but they're more in like a turquoise or like a sage kind of color. If you can see it more at the bottom than you can in the center. The very back, it's like a close up of that Wu Tang logo that we saw, I want to say, on the back of the CD. Yeah, so like I want to say it's just a close up of that right there. Excuse me. With like I said, track listings on the left hand side, and then on the right hand side, we get more into like the credits of the CD, and like just everybody who was affiliated, or more, I guess like a more focused version of that original list, as far as like everybody being affiliated with like who put it together, who like had a helping hand in putting it together. And that's just same turquoise lettering. It is kind of hard to see. I can I'm pretty sure with the camera, considering it's going across that logo, and it kind of makes me think why they chose teal as well. It's not a bad color, but it's just kind of random. Like we haven't seen any teal earlier on in like this booklet or like artwork for the CD or the packaging or anything like that. Once again, we have the picture of the Wu Tang, the members, and then the masked members in the front cover. And yeah, that's about it for like the booklet and all the artwork for the CD. So yeah, it's just an iconic body of work. Enter the Wu Tang 36 Chambers. It's the debut project from the Wu. So I mean, if you're not familiar with this, definitely check it out. It's classic hip hop music, classic just music in general. But yeah, this has been See These CDs. You already know what we do. I'm assuming, we're about 30 episodes deep or so, a little more than 30 episodes. So, we're just trying to take a closer look at basically like the artwork for the CD, highlight it, talk about it a little bit, take a closer look, give you guys like a better idea of what it would be like to like consume the actual, physical artwork that a CD is versus, just listening to the music. But yeah, this has been See These CDs. Please like, comment, subscribe, watch other videos. It's appreciated. Any engagement, counts. And thanks for checking this out. See you in the next video. All right, people. Peace. I'm out.